Yeah, it's a little tricky here. The candle won't light and the bell's ringing. Who knows? We're disorganized religion, as Sky likes to say. But thank you for ringing our bell. And we'll begin our service this morning with, what do we do first here? I am all bumfuzzled. Sky's the one that's been gone for 8 weeks, and I can't remember what I do. There we are. How about if we repeat our opening statement? Let's say that together. Let's do that. Okay, together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Now let's take that within this morning for just a minute. And now let's affirm it together once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Okay, now we'll have our wonderful music by our fantastic musicians.
Would you please stand? We'll sing Surely the Presence, which is right inside your front cover. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. I can feel his mighty power and his grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on his face. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. Surely the presence of our God is in this place. I can feel her mighty power and her grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on his face. Surely the presence of our God
welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. It's nice to see everyone this morning. Do we have any first-time visitors?
Do have a first-time visitor. We have Osagi. And would you all introduce Osagi? Yes. Frank,
Osagi's a pickleball friend of ours. But he's a great guy.
And he's also a friend in many other ways.
Yeah, a friend in many other ways. We've enjoyed having him as a member of our family for a couple of years now. So.
well, welcome, Osagi. It's great to have you.
Anyone else here? I see a few new people. Claire Foster and her brother. What's his name? Connor. I'm sorry, Connor. I won't forget that anymore. I always remember Claire saying Claire Foster, and that's what I remember. So we're glad to see everyone this morning. And you too on Zoom. Welcome. Our announcements this week, prayer chaplain. Do we have a prayer chaplain today? Laura's going to be the prayer chaplain, so she will meet you after church, after the service, if you're in need of a short, powerful unity prayer, and she will meet you right here where that picture is, and she will lead you into the inner chambers where you can reveal your heart. No, not really. Just have a short, positive prayer with Laura, and it will change your day, maybe even your world. So, thank you for that, Laura. UKV is collecting luggage and bags for the Davis Children's Shelter. Please call Pam for a time to drop those off. And we are also collecting cleaning supplies and new washcloths for the Sojourners Shelter. Woo! Thank you to everyone who donates for both of these causes. Let's see what else here on the back. We do have the Unity booklets available. There are several different types. There's 3 here, different ones on the table, and there's some in the foyer. Please take those and read them at your leisure. If you're new to Unity, they are full of information about just affirmative prayer and just so many things that Unity stands for. Please volunteer. We need volunteers for ushers. We need volunteers to read the daily word. Vaughn's going to read the daily word for me today. And we need volunteers for Sunday school. Please, 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 please. No, I'm kidding. We have a lot of kids today, and that's exciting because we're going to bless the backpacks. Sky is. That's going to be great. So our annual meeting has been scheduled for Sunday, October the 10th. Is that still correct, Barbie? Okay. After church. And if you are interested in being on the board and seeing what running this church, what it takes, is all about, please see Janet, Barbie, Stephen, Peggy, whoever, and we'll, somebody with a name tag, and we'll tell you what it's all about. Yeah, and you'll love it. So, that's all I have. We are so happy and excited to welcome our minister back. We have struggled without him, but we made it through the other side. Welcome, Sky.
Thank you so much, Peggy. Well, I struggled without you, too, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that today. Well, welcome. Namaste, shalom, and aloha. The light in me greets the light in you. My name is Sky Kirshner. I want to welcome you to Unity of Kanawha Valley for those folks who are with us live. And we've got a handful of folks with us from all over the country on Zoom, so it's great to see you all here with us today as well. The mission of Unity of Kanawha Valley is to provide you with a welcoming community of love, acceptance, and a place to practice spiritual growth. We celebrate our unity in being alive together in this amazing experience, and we affirm our diversity that each of us is on our own journey of spiritual growth. It's my personal goal that you feel welcome while you're here with us today, that you feel free to be yourself Woo! And feel free to explore some ideas that might be useful in your life. Take them with you if they are, leave them if they're not. Today I'm going to be talking about an idea from John Milton's Paradise Lost, the idea of making a heaven out of hell. If you want to know more about Unity, check us out online. Prayer is a central part of what we're about, so let's do a short one with us right now. If you would, soften your gaze, let yourself close your eyes if you feel comfortable and safe. Let a smile come to your face and notice what the experience of that smile is like in your body. And say silently to yourself, I am a unique expression of God's love. I am a unique expression of God's love. And if you would, in this state of mind, put your hands out in front of you. Imagine that you are holding by the shoulders someone you love who isn't here right now. Someone separated by time, by distance, by life or death. And say to them, thank you for being with me on this journey. And look them in the eye and hear them saying that back to you. And if you would, give yourself a nice big yawn and a nice big stretch. Feel free to stand up, touch somebody next to you, and say, thank you for being with me on this journey. I want to thank each of you for being with us here today. Your being here today is part of the world that we are creating together. I want to remind you that every little thing you do makes a difference in your life and in the life of someone else. I want to thank the universe, God, the source of all life and love, for another day on this amazing journey. I want to thank everyone who's made this service possible, for our board, Stephen, and our board members, Barbie, Jamie, Rich, Peggy, Laura, and Kathy, for Pam, our church administrator, for Ron and Ryan and Jeff, our partially masked marauders of music, for Peggy, our worship leader today, for Rich and Danny, our Zoom meisters, for our amazing chair chaplains, Sharon, Janet, Marianne, and Laura, and Alexa, and our daily word reader today, Vaughn, and our junior bell ringers today. I think it was Connor, Claire, and Tegan. Thank you for ringing our bells. And I want to remind each of you that God is our source. The pen is in your hand, and a new day is dawning for us all. And so let's enter into a more extended period of prayer. We might start by just noticing the sounds in the room. People shuffling and adjusting, getting more comfortable. The lovely sound of having kids here with us today. I'm not sure if we can hear the sound of the rain outside right now. The beauty of the stillness of this present moment. You might notice the experience of breathing, the circulation, the exchange of giving and receiving. We give through our lungs, something that helps other life forms on this planet, even as we receive something from them in each breath. And this experience of circulation within our bodies is a metaphor for the teaching of all spiritual masters, the giving and receiving of life, the giving and receiving of love, the giving and receiving of welcome and of kindness. We receive, and so we give. Jesus said, "Seek ye the kingdom. The kingdom is among you. It is in your midst. It is at hand. It is within." And so we go within to explore the meaning of this teaching, to seek the kingdom within. You might notice a sense of peace come over you. This is one of the qualities of the kingdom. A sense of abundance and sufficiency, that you are enough for this moment. This moment is enough for you. That all is well in this moment. You might notice a connection with all parts of yourself, a sense of wholeness, even a sense of healing coming to you right now, as the Spirit of love and the Spirit of life infuses every cell in your body, and you are aware of the presence of love in your life and in your entire body. The wholeness of this experience. You might notice a sense of reconciliation, a sense of love and forgiveness in relationships. A sense of those obstacles that separate us diminishing. A sense that all is well and all will be well. The kingdom is a place of love, forgiveness, reconciliation, wholeness, healing, acceptance. And you might notice a sense of guidance. A still small voice. A subtle urge. A small feeling. Turn left instead of turn right. Go home a different way. Keep doing this or do something different. Perhaps a sense that no matter what you do, it will be okay. And it's from this place that we reach out to anyone, anywhere, in any need or trouble. those living in fear, those who are isolated or alone. Those burdened by guilt or oppressed by anxiety. Those struggling with addictions. We reach out to anyone in any need or trouble, knowing that the presence of God's loving Spirit is available and accessible in all places at all times to all people, because God is love and love is everywhere. And we know that the awareness of the presence of love is available and is possible in every moment. And for this, we are grateful.
Anything is possible when I trust in God. With God, I can truly do anything. If someone were to tell me that my goal was unreasonable, I would simply smile because I know a deeper truth. When I believe in the divine power within me, all things are not only reasonable, but achievable. My faith is not shaken by what other people think or say. I keep my spiritual vision focused on moving toward my highest good. No matter where I am in life, it is always possible for me to move beyond present appearances to something better. What once might have been unimaginable is now firmly within my grasp. Realizing my true potential comes from believing in the divine presence within me. With God, all things are possible. Jesus looked at them and said, "For mortals it is impossible, but not for God. For God all things are possible." Mark 10:27.
This song came to me thinking about Skies lesson. It's about how my concept of heaven and hell and God had changed since I was a kid to what it is now. I used to think that God was an old man in the sky, like Santa Claus, keeping track of who's naughty and who's nice, rewarding behavior with fortune or a flood, depending on who's been bad and who's been good. And I remember 8 years old and afraid to fall asleep, fearing if I lost my soul, what would happen to me? Would God, who knew my secret sins, cast me in that fiery lake? If I should die before I could wake. But that was long ago, and I've had time to repent of these misguided notions for one that makes more sense.
Thank you, Ron and Jeff. That was absolutely beautiful. Let's see, it's time for the kids to come up. If you're willing to come up, we'd love to see you up here. Oh, bring your backpacks. Yes, if you have a backpack, bring your backpack. If you don't have a backpack, bring yourself. That's fine. Oh, let's see. How am I going to do this? Oh, yeah. Okay, we're getting ready for... Yeah. All right, let's make a room enough for a big circle. Back up a little bit, Connor. Taking... Oh, yeah, backpacks. Okay. Let's throw the backpacks in the middle so we can all have a backpack here. And Connor, back up a little bit. Come on. You want to sit over here next to me? Thank you. All right, so fantastic. Funny thought just came into my head. I'm not going to share that right now. But it's great to have you guys here, and it's great to have the backpacks. Let's hear everybody's name. I'm Sky. This is the harder part of the. This is the hard moment here.
I'm Delilah.
I'm Player. I'm Taken. I'm Connor.
Okay, Connor, good job.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Alec.
Alec, nice.
I'm Aaron.
Alec and Aaron, it's great to have you guys here. So, we've got the backpack. Yes, nice waves back and forth to everybody. So, a bunch of us have brought our backpacks. This is a yeah, that's okay. Do you guys have backpacks at home? Did you take to school?
Well, I'm not in school.
Oh, you're not in school, okay. But you're in school and you take your backpack to school? Fantastic.
Yeah, and Claire's in my class.
Claire's in your class. How about that? What a small world. What grade are you in?
First grade.
First grade. And do you go to school at all or preschool? Or?
He's not.
You go to homeschool every day.
No, you're not.
Okay, let's have a little argument about that. That's a good idea. And what grade are you in? Miss second grade, Connor?
Second.
Second?
First.
First?
First.
First?
Fifth.
Fifth, and I'm in like grade 700. Yes, 100. Thank you for that. Yeah. So let's think about. We've got school. School has already started, right? Does everybody know the name of their teacher? Yeah. Say the name of your teacher when I count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Miss Swanson.
Anybody else? Do you remember the? Do you remember the name of your teacher?
Mine's Miss Riskin.
Miss Riskin. Okay.
My teacher's name is really hard to pronounce because we go by last name, and she's got a really funny last name.
Yeah.
It's like Mrs. Let me say something. I can't remember.
Mrs. Sis was with a laugh in the middle. That's good. You can't remember either. Okay, good. Well.
Our teacher's name, me and Claire's teacher's name, Miss Coleman.
Miss Coleman, very good memory. Okay, so what does it mean to bless something? Here's one idea. It means just to be grateful for it, okay? So right now we're going to just have a little prayer together, and we're going to be grateful for everything related to school and learning. So let's close our eyes, if you would, and we're just going to give some thanks out to different people and different things. I'm going to ring the bell, and we're just going to listen to it. You ready to take a nice deep breath, Connor?
Yeah.
Here we go. So we are thankful for everything related to learning in school. We give thanks for parents who bought the backpacks and fill them with good things each morning. We give thanks for schools and places where we can go to learn and play and be safe with our friends. We give thanks for our teachers who care and guide and teach us and who give of themselves every day. And finally, we give thanks for these kids who are smart and capable and brilliant and important. And each one of these kids in this circle is going to do amazing things with their lives. May you kids be happy. May you learn in school this year. And most importantly, may you be kind to others. Amen. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, parents. Thank you, Peggy, for running to the store and getting snacks. If you'd like to have a snack, you can stay and go in the back with Peggy. Okay, if you want a snack, go with Peggy. Take your backpack in case there's extra.
Yes. I do not have anything extra, but I want to take my backpack.
Okay, good.
I don't have anything extra.
Okay, if you don't have anything extra, just let me know.
I'm gonna have fun.
Okay, good deal. We'll see you later. Wow. Wow. Thank you, parents, so much for bringing the kids today. I have a silly little joke. I mean, I'm back already, and I've already got a less than stellar joke, but a couple was living near the ocean, and they walked by on the beach a lot, and they noticed this girl on the beach who had this little, kind of backpack, carrying something, not real unusual, but they noticed that she would go up to people and talk to them, and then, kind of, the people would frequently shake their head no, and then she would go to the next people and talk with them, and they would shake their head no, and she would go to the next people, and they kind of wondered what was going on. What was she selling? Is she selling, some contraband, or, what is it that's going on here? And so they observed her over the next couple of days, and the husband noticed that she was going up to people who had either radios or boom boxes or, some kind of electronic device. And so he said to his wife, tomorrow I'm going to bring a radio, and because she never came up to them and asked them. And so he said, I'm going to bring a radio tomorrow, and we'll see if she comes up to me. And so he takes a radio down, sets out on the beach on the towels, got the radio going, and sure enough, she walks up to him. And he went back home to tell his wife what the deal was, and his wife said, well, what's going on? And she said, well, she's not selling drugs. Do you know what she's selling, honey? She's selling batteries. She's selling batteries. And the wife said, she's selling batteries? And the husband said, yes. She sells seashells down by the seashore. She sells seashells down by the seashore. Okay, so much for that one. All right. So put your hands on your heart, please, and repeat after me. This is my heart. Through it, I am connected to my neighbor, to my source, and to myself. I'm learning to trust it in all things, and I am grateful. Amen. Well, it was John Milton who said, the mind can make a heaven out of hell and a hell out of heaven. You could say that heaven and hell coexist at every moment, that it's really our perception that makes what this moment is going to be. And so it's up to each of us to decide how this moment is going to be, whether this moment is going to be a heaven or a hell, or whether through the power of our perception and our attitude we can turn a bad situation into one that we could feel grateful for, or vice versa. We could completely ignore what is good and right in front of us and focus only on what's missing and what's bad. Now, I say this because I've been traveling. The word traveling has the same root as the word travail, which means suffering, right? Suffering and pain. Travail is usually one of those words that's used to describe childbirth. childbearing, right? The suffering part, the painful part of childbearing. And I have been in some travail in my travels, and I thought I would share with you some of the heaven and some of the hell and some of what I decided to do about some of the situations we were in. We went from Costa Rica. My wife's from Costa Rica. I have no family in the States, so my family is in Costa Rica. My wife and kids were, well, actually the kids were all spread out. My wife and I were in Costa Rica together, and we had been invited to a wedding in Slovakia that was an exchange student who lived with us 10 years ago, who we had a wonderful experience with, and we've kept up with him. We visited back and forth. He came down to Costa Rica. We went to Germany to visit with him, and he fell in love with a Slovakian gal, and they were getting married in Bratislava in Slovakia. So we decided we would fly from Costa Rica to Vienna, actually. It's just an hour from Bratislava. 14-hour plane ride, and I, being the cheapskate that I'm capable of being, did not pay for the long leg seats, and so I had a long 14-hour travail to get there, and we had a wonderful time. The wedding was amazing. It was on the Danube River, overlooking the medieval fortress, just incredible. And so coming back, I decided that I would spring for the upgraded seat and see if we could get, like an emergency row seat, which I think was like $40 or $60 for the flight to Chicago. So we get there, everything's good, and I get in line for the ticket to see if I can upgrade the ticket. There are two people, well, there are three people. There are two customer agents, and there's one person in front of me, and the one agent is experiencing hell because the customer is fuming and swearing and very upset that they can't get the first class upgrade that they want. And the other agent is having this heaven experience and the customers, it's a woman and her little girl, and they're also going to upgrade to first class. An upgrade to first class is $500 per ticket. So that's not my class. My class is emergency row for 40 bucks. That's good enough for me. If we're lucky, Maria will sit next to me. But it's so we're there, and I'm in line and behind this one person, and this one person is giving this with the hip cocked, kind of thing. And if you've never been overseas, you might have heard of this term, the ugly American. And, it's this sense of entitlement. And everybody on the plane, because they were only allowing U.S. citizens back, and you had to have a COVID test the day before. And, there are all these stringencies, and there's a huge line they're checking everybody's COVID tests, making sure they're legitimate. And so, just a cramped space, a lot of agitation going on. And the woman and their daughter upgrading to first class are having a lot of questions, like, what row are we in? And is this the window on the right or the window on the left? And the little girl wants to know, what are we eating? And, because she has certain things. Meanwhile, there are now 30 people behind me. The plane leaves in 45 minutes, and this agent is just spending all this really beautiful time giving them incredible customer service. And I was thinking, can she not see that there are 30 people? And the plane is due to leave. And then I took a breath, and I said, okay, Sky, you have a choice here. You could have the hell experience, or you could have the heaven experience. And I remembered reading in Wayne Dyer's book, I think it's The Power of Intention that Danny and Sandy gave me when I first started coming here 16 years ago, where he's talking about being in an airport and all the flights got canceled. You remember this story, Barbie? And everybody's yelling and threatening the flight attendants or the customer folks who, you know, their hands are tied. And he goes up and he gives empathy and he says, you're having a hard day, aren't you? And starts talking with the person and winds up getting the only seat out of there that day. So I'm remembering that, and I do think of that when I'm in these stressful situations, not because, you know, I'm going to get something good out of it, but just because isn't that the kind thing to do, you know, when somebody is just getting chewed out by people or about to be chewed out, because I was anticipating this next woman. So I decided, instead of doing like this, what you normally do in a line, you know, which is like be standing there and like, you know, I decided to turn and look out the window, and this whole drama is going on out here, and I just decided to take in the beauty of the airport and the sky, and I was there for 15 minutes taking in the beauty of the sky and just breathing and experiencing what it was like to be there. The woman goes up. She wants to upgrade. Well, she's not happy with the seat that she's in. She's in a seat that doesn't have a seat in front of her. She's in coach. And I'm overhearing this, and she's saying, you know, well, you know, we need something else. This isn't satisfactory. And she's talking, she's going on, and finally, the woman says, well, I do have, you know, 4 seats in first class. Well, how much is it going to be? $500 each. Oh my God, you know, and she says, well, out of frustration, she says, I'll take it. Then the husband comes over and he says, what's going on? She says, we're going to first class. And he says, how much is it going to be? And he said, $2,000. And they started going at it now. But finally, he throws up his hands and walks away. And so she now is negotiating over what is the preferred row in first class. There's row 1 and there's row 8. You know, I heard this comedy routine of this couple who were ordering chicken at a restaurant, and they quizzed the waiter on how the chicken was treated while they were alive, and did the chicken have friends, and the waiter pulls out a picture and says, this is the chicken, and here they are with their friends. It was kind of like that. You know, it's like, it was just like, you know, I mean, it was, and the customer service person was so patient and was explaining, yes, these are the benefits of the first row, first class seats. But here are the benefits of the 8th row seat. And, you know, if it was me, I would take the 8th row. But this woman wasn't satisfied with that. She wanted to hear more about the first row. So they're going on. And I'm breathing, looking out the window. And finally, they decide on the 8th row. Now, I had noticed that she was giving up that seat that didn't have a seat in front of it. And I thought, boy, there's a seat that's empty, you know, because the flight was full, was absolutely packed. The emergency room. So I went up to her and I said to her, you know, you are giving amazing customer service. And she looked at me and she said, are you joking with me right now? And I said, no, I've been observing for the last 25 minutes how you've been treating each customer as if they're the most important person. And you've just been doing an amazing, amazing job, and I just wanted you to know that I was noticing that. And this tear came to her eye. And it was like this moment where she just felt so moved that somebody had like seen her intention and seen her for what she was trying to do, even though she was not getting any appreciation. And so she kind of came out and she said, well, what can I do for you? And I said, I just want to see if there's anything that might have more leg room. And she said, the emergency rooms are all taken. I said, well, I noticed that that woman just gave up something. Would that be possible? You know, if it's possible. If it's not, that's fine. I just want to see. And she said, let me check. So she starts typing, you know. And you're always kind of curious, what are they typing in there? I can't believe this guy is asking for, you know, texting back and forth with the person next to him. But she says, I have something for you. Would it be okay with you if I upgraded you to aisle 1 in first class? My gift. And then tears came to my eyes. And I had a moment with her now, and she gave us first class tickets in aisle 1. I've never flown in first class before. And these seats, you push a button and they recline into a bed. And I slept on the plane. I've never slept on it because I'm usually like this. And it was like, wow, that was lovely. That was really lovely. No, she gave them to me as her gift. $1,000, 2 of them. Maria and I took more pictures of Maria and I in first class than I took on the entire trip. Here's the I don't drink, but Maria gets mine. Here's the champagne. Here's the white wine. Here's the red wine. Here's the schnapps. It was crazy. It was wild. Now, there have been some studies on becoming less blaming in your life. And I just read this when I got back. And one of the tricks of becoming a more open person, a less blaming person, is to connect with the sensations of the present moment. I thought, oh, that's so interesting, you know, to kind of get out of the narrative story in your head. I'm important. I must have this. I'm entitled to this. To get out of that whole narrative and just say, wow, doesn't the sky look amazing right now? And haven't we had a great trip? And just kind of be in the present moment. Jesus says about entitlement, he didn't use this word, but the parable that applies is when you're invited to dinner, take a seat at the foot of the table. This is the idea of the servant leader. Don't go immediately to the head. Don't ask for first class like you're entitled for it. Take a seat at the bottom. And you can lead from anywhere. You can lead from being in line. I am so grateful for that story from Wayne Dyer and for Unity and for the beauty of the present moment that helped me to kind of influence that moment so that, I mean, the first class thing was nice, but that wasn't, the main thing was this tear that came to her eye in being recognized, and then the tear that came to my eye. We gave each other these gifts. It was just amazing. You can lead from anywhere at the table, even from the foot of the table. Even when you're standing in line, you can help lead, bring leadership to that moment. Now, I do want to add that when we got to Chicago, no amount of present moment empathy and friendliness will change the fact that there's a tornado on the runway and that they're canceling all the flights. So, you know, okay, you know, nobody's fault. We were in the plane, we rolled out, we start going to the runway, and then they turn us around and take us back. And they don't give us our carry-on luggage. So we get off the plane, and there's another plane that has just finished boarding that's also going to Charleston that was late, but it was leaving at the... So I said, well, let's go try there. Present moment awareness will give you optimism. And so we went to the other gate. They had already closed the door. But they said, oh, you're going to Charleston? We've got 2 more seats. Come on in. They opened up the door again. We got on. We still haven't seen our luggage. But, you know, that's okay. So I just want to kind of open up this idea that, you know, for your examination, I know all of you have had experiences like this where your attitude, it doesn't stop the tornado, but your attitude creates a heaven out of hell. and that is what I wanted to promote today. Every mind creates and lives in its own world. The choice is yours, the choice is ours. Which world do you want to live in? Welcome, young man. All right. And with that, I will end, and let's hear from another song from this amazing band. Oh, let's do the offering first, if you want to. Thank you, Barbie. Oh, sorry about that, yeah. I don't know.
And will you say with me our offering blessing? Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
Love is but the song we sing. Feel the way down. You can make the mountains rain, or make the angels cry. Know the dove is on the wing. You need not smile on your brother, everybody together, try and love right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You want the key to love and freedom. It's in your trembling hand. One key unlocks everyone you know. It's at your command. Come now, smile on your brother, everybody together, try and love Some may come, some may go. We must surely pass. When the one who left us here returns for us at last.
Father God, we are so grateful to be here today in this moment with each other, having this experience. We are grateful for the ability we have in our hearts to be present in the moment, to give love, and to receive all the blessings around us. And we're thankful for this church and how we can support it and be part of the flow of giving and receiving, and especially of loving each other. Amen.
Yeah, let's make a circle.
If you'd like to make a circle, we will do our peace song and the prayer for protection. Do we have any birthdays to celebrate?
Barbie!
Or graduation? Daniel? 54? Whoa, Danny and Sandy. And
Barbie yesterday.
Barbie's birthday was yesterday. Okay, so we're going to do it again. We're going to sing happy birthday to Barbie.
Hi, everybody. I just muted the church so that we could have a chat, and maybe Rich is going to take our chat off of YouTube. We'll see. But so great to have Sky back.